children's messages. She'll talk to us about that in about an hour. First, though, we thought we'd find out what some parents and their children. Well, what do you think? Do parents have a duty to check up on texts and emails, or is it just plain snooping? Do you?
My 7-year-old came home the other day and said, you know, you've got to be really careful, Mum, about giving out personal information when you're using your computer or your mobile phone. He's 7. He hasn't got a computer or a mobile phone, but he knows all about how you need to protect your info.
He'll be checking your text messages next. Time now to get news, travel and weather.
You'll get a bit of a shock. See you in a moment.
Thanks very much.
6:43. Do get in touch with us this morning if perhaps you were affected by school closures today and you're concerned you might be affected by them again today. We'd like to hear from you. So let's update you then on our main news this morning.
This morning's papers, lots of them leading on Prince Harry. Here's the Sun. Harry home, he admits.
And the same headline and similar photograph on the front of the Daily Mail this morning.
Telegraph leads on that, but also its other stories. Regular use of aspirin can...
Another story that I was interested in on the front of the Daily Telegraph this morning, and that is that the Professor Mary Beard says that when she appeared on Question as well, considering that we're talking about whether you should have a look at what your children are doing online, because it is so easy to become the victim of abuse online in a way you wouldn't experience it in normal life.
Electronic version of a football crowd, really, isn't it? The Independent and Two Times leads on the Mali story. British forces in northern Africa.
So Prince Harry on so many of the front pages this morning, away from constant media scrutiny and high-profile royal engagements. The Prince has just completed a 5-month tour of duty as an Apache helicopter pilot in Afghanistan. In interviews recorded before he left Camp Bastion, the Prince, who's now 28, known as Captain Wales, gave an insight into his... Yes. A number of things occurred to me after that interview. One of them is that he makes his bed like my children make their beds. There's a special programme showing more of Prince Harry's tour in Afghanistan on the BBC News channel this morning at 10:30.
8 minutes to 7. Almost £3 billion was spent on toys here in the UK last year. Despite the tough economy, it's a drop of just 1% on the year before, so they're doing pretty well in that respect. Yes, Steph's at the UK's biggest... How to dance. Time now to get the news, travel and weather where you are. See you in a moment. Well, thank you. Our main news this morning, a British woman has been sentenced to death for drug smuggling in Bali. Lindsay Sanderford from Gloucestershire was convicted of smuggling nearly 5 kilograms of cocaine in her suitcase on a flight from Bangkok last May. She was one of 4 Britons arrested on suspicion of trafficking. Obviously concerned, but powerless. Yeah. To know what to do. 11 minutes past 7. Now, disputes between the 10 largest supermarkets and their suppliers will have a new referee from today. The government has appointed Christine Taken to the role of independent groceries code adjudicator. A major review found some supermarkets had bullied farmers and food suppliers into unsuitable contracts, forcing lower profit margins. Relationship between the big retailers and the suppliers, because the retailers still have... Thank you. 16 minutes past 7. Still to come on the programme today. Should you or shouldn't you look at your children's texts and their interactions on social media? It's a dilemma we're discussing. One of my boys will get lost inside that. Now, 22 minutes past 7, communities are being urged to pull together as parts of the UK prepare for a 5th day of disruption caused by the snow and ice, and postal workers and neighbours among those being asked by local councillors to check up on elderly residents. Well, some councils are supplying shovels to snow volunteers, as they're being called, to help clear roads and pavements. Our reporter John Maguire is near Dartmoor. He's been finding out how one community is coping with some pretty tough conditions.